Hi everyone, and welcome back to Brains Are Beautiful. In today's video, we're going to be solving some single variable inequalities. We're going to start off really easy, and then we're going to get a bit more difficult. And if you don't understand what I'm writing down or these signs seem really weird to you, go check out my video, Intro to Inequalities, and it will take you step by step through what is an inequality and the different signs for the inequalities. And with that, let's get started. So I'm just going to focus on a couple examples because I know as a student, that's what I love. So my first example is going to be x plus 5 is less than 11. And so we want to solve for x. So what we're going to do is we're going to treat this just like it's a regular equation. So we're going to pretend that this is an equal sign. So what would you do if this is an equation? You'd subtract 5 from both sides. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. And we're going to get x is less than 6. All right, and that's your answer. So pretty straightforward. And now if we go to a little bit harder of an example, our next example is going to be 8 minus 4x is greater than 20. And we're going to do the same thing here. To just pretend the sign is an equal sign for a now. There's going to be a catch a little bit later on. But what we would do if this is an equation is we're just going to subtract 8 from both sides because we're trying to solve for x. That leaves us with negative 4x is greater than 12. And then from there, we would normally just divide by negative 4. Okay, so let's do the same thing. Divided by negative 4, divided by negative 4. But here's where the catch is. Since this is not an equation, this is an inequality, when you divide or multiply by a negative number, you have to flip the sign. So we're going to do that. And that's going to leave us, just like regular, with x, only the sign's flipped, so it's going to be less than negative 3. So let me write that rule out for you. So when you multiply or divide by a negative number, flip the sign. And that's something to definitely write down in your notes because it doesn't go away, it just happens over and over again, and you really want to have that memorized. Okay, and so now let's go ahead and move on to our next example. Remember, if you guys have any questions, please just leave them in the comments and I will answer them. So now we're going to do 18 minus x over 10, and that's going to be less than 24. All right, so let's solve for x. So we're going to pretend like it's an equal sign for now, so it's just an equation, and we are going to subtract 18 from both sides, and we get negative x over 10. And that is less than 6. And then to continue solving for x, we're going to multiply both sides by 10 times 10 and times negative 10. And that, since we're multiplying by a negative, we are going to flip the sign, and it's going to end up with x is greater than negative 60. And that's our answer. All right, and now let's move on to a little bit harder of an example, and that is just going to be 5x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 4 times the quantity 2x minus 1. So now we get to use our distributive property that we had learned in one of the very first videos. If you don't remember it, go ahead and go back and review it. But all that it does, I'll give you a quick review right now, is we just distribute the 4 by multiplying each term in the parentheses. So let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to keep this side of the inequality the same for now. And that's just going to give us 8x minus 4. So we just multiplied 4 times 2x and 4 times negative 1. And now we can just go ahead and solve like we have all of the other ones. So let's add 4 to both sides. Plus 4, because we want all the constants on one side and all the variables on the other. So that is going to give us 5x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 8x. And by now you guys are probably pros at this. So let's keep going. Let's subtract both sides by 5x minus 5x. And now this is subtraction, it's not multiplication or division, so the sign does stay the same. And that's going to give us 3x. And now, just to finish off the problem, divide both sides by 3 and divide by 3, and we're going to get 2/3. And since we're not dividing by a negative number, we're dividing by a positive number, so the sign, it just stays the same because it doesn't matter. So there we go. 2/3 is greater than or equal to x. Alright guys, I hope you learned a lot in this video. Go ahead and replay it. If you have any questions, leave comments and I will answer them. Also, feel free to leave anything for suggestions. Alright, thanks for watching and go check out my other videos, and remember, brains are beautiful.